Everyone has someone special they can't imagine life without. If asked about special memories or formative experiences, a large amount of teens or adults would tell a story about grandparents. Grandparents are people who adore, spoil, and enrich childhoods for many. However, it's part of life to lose the ones we hold near to our hearts. That moment happened on August 31st, 2013, when I was 10 years old. On that day, I lost one of my best friends, whom I call my grandmother. It was around 7 in the morning, and I was watching TV in my bed. And all of an instant, the phone began to ring, and my life changed forever. On the other side of the phone was my grandmother saying, "Thomas, go get help. Thomas, go get help." In a blink of an eye, I rushed to my mother's room. She could tell from my facial expressions and the tears running down my face that something was horribly wrong. Therefore, we all got dressed and headed to my grandmother's house. Luckily, at the time, she only lived about 2 minutes away. When we arrived at her house, went inside to her room, and my mother told me to stay in the kitchen because she didn't want me to be in the way at the time. Finally, the paramedics arrived, and from what I could hear and see, I knew that it was not a dream, but reality. Finally, they got our load into the ambulance, but we stood in the driveway for it seemed like an eternity. And all I could think about was, something is terribly wrong. Something is terribly wrong. Finally, the ambulance left and we were on our way to the hospital. On our way to the hospital, I can't remember anything besides the ambulance in front of us and thinking about my grandmother. Finally, we made it to the hospital, and we made it into the waiting room, and we waited to hear some news. It took about 15 minutes, but the doctor finally told us to come on back. But one memory I remember from waiting in the waiting room was a robin on the window frame. This robin was gray and brown with orange underparts and a dark head. This robin brought me a sensory renewal. However, although this bird was miraculous, it didn't take away the thought of my grandmother. So we went on back, and I knew by the doctor's expressions that something was wrong. I don't remember exactly what he told me that day except 5 words. "I am sorry for your loss." Once he said these words to me, I remember the drip of tears falling from my mother's face and us hugging each other for comfort. This moment in my life taught me an important lesson. It taught me that we should cherish our loved ones because loss and closure and everything that happens during life is just instant and inevitable. And communication with people and loved ones should be a focus that we should cherish in life before life is too late.